Hi, welcome back to Life is a Treasure podcast. I'm your hostess, Michelle Durand, and if this is your first time listening, I just want to sincerely welcome you. This episode is going to be how to transform our pain to purpose and how to use the energy from the new moon to do so. I hope that you will get comfortable and just have an open heart and an open mind to allow these words to really soak in to your heart. And maybe there's some areas in your life that have caused you pain, that are still causing you pain. My goal is that by the end of this episode, you will realize that you have everything within yourself to honor those feelings and those experiences and to transform that pain into a passion and a purpose that serves your life and helps other people. And so with the new moon coming up, which is actually today, September 17th, if you're listening to this the day that it releases, we are experiencing a new moon. And with the new moon, I thought I'd pull an oracle card from my Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland. So I shuffled the cards and I allowed a card to come forward, and this is the one that came. It is adjustments are required. And in her accompanying book, I'll read to you what she says. Think of yourself as a vessel that has been filled more and more over the past few weeks. Some of what has come your way may have been wonderful, but there is also a lot of negativity, and you need to let go of this. Whatever situation you're asking about now, be honest about whether there are toxic emotions involved which you need to release into the ethers. This card also comes with the promise that all is not lost. However, there are changes or adjustments required before you will get to where you want to be. A change, of course, is forecast now that recent events have been understood and acted upon. And there may be a crisis now which will remind you what you want and what it's time to let go of. So pay attention. This card reminds us to reevaluate our situation. Our lives may be out of balance, and this may be causing our issues, and it may be time to hatch up a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Trust may be required to move the situation forwards. I'd like to start off by talking about pain. And this could be pain from physical pain, or it could be emotional pain. Both are real and both are painful. And so in our pain, we can run from it or we can sit with it. And usually when we're going through something painful, our natural human instinct is to fight or to flight. And everyone goes through that. And as we go through something really painful, a lot of times we don't want to sit with the pain and we want to avoid it at all cost. We want to cover it up. We want to assume that it's not there. But when we attempt to bury our pain, it's still there. It's just pushed aside or pushed down. Our feelings are suppressed, and we don't allow ourselves to maybe think about it, but it's always there. We always will have negative feelings and harmful feelings and thoughts. And I've said this many times in our shows that our thoughts and our beliefs are what cause our feelings, and our feelings create our actions and our daily habits. So when we want to make changes and transformations in our life, in our body, we need to start with our thoughts and our beliefs. Are they true? Are they positive? Are they helpful? Are they serving me? And if they are not, we want to reevaluate those thoughts and those beliefs. We want to replace them with thoughts and beliefs that will help us to move forward in our healing process, in our journey of life. And I always love to say that there is joy in the journey. And so take out that JOY from the journey and really, really make that your goal. As you listen to this, set your intention that you want to feel more joy. And when you set that intention and when you focus on feeling more joy, it will help you to look forward to something. So our pain always can serve a purpose. Our pain can teach us lessons, maybe things we don't want to do, maybe relationships with people that we don't want to have in our life anymore, maybe to stop doing something that is harmful to ourselves or other people. Sometimes pain is caused by other people that were out of your control. However that pain is brought to us, it is our responsibility to process that pain, work through that pain, let go of the judgment, resentment, the shame, and grasp the healing that is available to every one of you who are listening right now. I can speak from this for so many different issues. I think the very most painful experience in my entire life was my abortion experience. And I have an entire episode, Michelle Durand's story, Tears to Treasures, and I invite you to listen to that. If your experience is also abortion, or you know someone who is struggling or stuck in her past from abortion, because I really go into detail about how I found healing and how I help other women and men find healing from their past abortions through Tears to Treasures. And really, that is a great example of this episode, Pain to Purpose. I allowed the pain from my abortion experience to cause or to create passion within me to have compassion for others who are going through the same experience that I went through, and to help them heal, to realize their purpose in their life. And maybe their purpose is not like mine, to help other people, but their purpose is their own unique purpose. They went through that experience for a reason. And our pain always serves a purpose and a reason and a lesson. It's our responsibility to find that and to cultivate that. Maybe the pain wasn't a trauma, but it was a disappointment, like in a divorce or a breakup. I myself went through divorce, and I know the pain and the shame and the blame and all of the negative feelings and emotions that came with that divorce. But it was ultimately my responsibility to look at it and to say, okay, I am going to go through this grieving process, which looks like denial and isolation, anger, bargaining, like, why do I have to go through this? Why me? Depression, and finally acceptance. Accepting my new role, accepting that my dreams were diminished and just dissolved. So I don't know what your pain is right now, but I do know that we all experience pain in our lives. Every one of us. No one is immune to pain. And whatever that pain is, it's so important to let go. And okay, I just want to say, letting go sounds so easy, right? And cliche. Oh, just let it go, like Frozen. It's not that easy. And when I think of letting it go, I always go back to this process. We need to heal. We need to deal with whatever it is that needs attention in order to heal. That means to honor our feelings, to process and express our emotions, all of them, to release our shame. I have an entire episode and a guest episode all about shame and how to be free from shame, and I will link it in the show notes for you to listen to that as well. And then finally, our whole entire goal is to find acceptance, and especially self-acceptance. And I also have an entire episode on that, and I will link that one as well. But when we can find acceptance, that is closure to our painful experiences. That allows us to step forward and let go and move on with our life. But before we can do so, we need to go inward. We need to connect our mind, our body, and our soul. A lot of times that would mean to sit and breathe, just be. And when we're used to running, and just fighting or flighting from our pain and our disappointment, and we let life just take us out of control, spiral downward, it's so important to become grounded, to just sit and to breathe, inhale, exhale, to go inward into our heart and to feel rather than just keep thinking. Use all of our senses, what we hear, what we see, what we smell, what we touch. Just allow our whole body to experience the senses and to just feel what we want to feel. It's so powerful to meditate, but more powerful than that is to visualize. Visualize what you want your future to be like. Visualize your body being whole again and pain-free. Visualization is extremely powerful. Our body listens to our mind. And journal. Write it down. Draw. Make a list of gratefulness, of gratitude journal. Or express yourself through dance and movement out in nature. There's so many ways that we can express our feelings. But when we block the negative feelings, we also block the positive feelings, such as love and joy and peace. And I want you to learn how to cultivate those things from the inside out, because you too have that within you. You have that inner wisdom, that inner guidance that we call intuition to guide you to a much better place than you might be when you're stuck in your pain and your grieving process. So start with the first step of just honoring yourself and validating your feelings. And then focus on solutions rather than the problem. Find things that you can do. What can I do to help myself? And visualize your future. Don't keep dwelling on your past, but visualize yourself in your future of where you want to go. And when you do those steps, you will be setting yourself up for success. You will be on that path and journey to joy. And I just hope that through this episode, you can realize that it doesn't matter what you have been through, what's been done to you, what's been said about you. You are worthy of healing. You are worthy of being able to move on from your past. You are worthy to stand up and realize that I can gain my power back. I can transform myself and my life from these tears to these beautiful treasures of peace, love, and joy. and you can find inner peace again. Because when we're in chaos and turmoil and filled with grief and pain and just we're so stuck in our own piles of pain, it's so hard to see the light. And I hope that this episode will help shed light and truth that you can transform yourself and you can transform your life into a treasure. So I hope that wherever you are, you will practice meditation and visualization and journaling and just getting out in nature, finding yourself and finding your soul, realigning with who you are meant to be. And you will soon feel passion. You will have empathy for others who are going through the journey you went through. And you just might find your purpose. Once I realized that I was healed from my abortion experience, I knew other people were where I was. I started speaking out publicly. I started sharing my story, and that became my purpose. And it is still my life purpose today to help people transform their tears into treasures. And that's what I wake up to do every single day, is to help people see that there is purpose in their pain. Nothing is going through in vain. We can always use our pain and allow it to serve a purpose in this world. And if you would like some help, if you would like a free 30-minute consultation with me, you can reach out to me through my website, lifeisatreasure.com, under Work with Michelle. And I always offer my listeners a free 30-minute session to help you get back on track, find out where you might be stuck, and what are a few steps to do to move forward. So I hope that wherever you're listening to this episode from, that you can realize that you too have everything within you to transform your pain to purpose and create a life that is a treasure. And until next week, peace, love, and joy. Thank you for listening to Life is a Treasure podcast. I'm Michelle Durand, and I'd like to personally invite you to join us and continue the conversation in our free Facebook group, Life is a Treasure podcast. The link will be in the show notes at lifeisatreasure.com. You can also find my social media links on the website as well. Please reach out to me and introduce yourself. I'd love to hear where you're listening from and what your biggest takeaways have been. And as we begin to share our secrets, our stories, and our struggles, we find that others can have the courage to start sharing theirs. And this is how the healing process begins. So please help us spread the hope and the healing to others by subscribing, reviewing, and sharing this podcast. And make sure to tag me on Instagram at Michelle Marie with 2 E's, Durand, Durand, with hashtag Life is a Treasure podcast for a chance to get a shout out on the show. And also visit lifeisatreasure.com for all the resources and freebies mentioned. We believe that everyone is equal and worthy of healing and unconditional love. And we promise that if you invest your time and energy to do the inner work, you too can transform yourself and create a life that is a treasure. So you can live authentically, love unconditionally, and laugh wholeheartedly. And until next week, peace, love, and joy.